I've had to record this several times. I cannot get my words together. Um, Thank y'all for 5K on the main channel. I made that channel 4 years ago on April Fool's Day as a joke. At the time, I was in a very bad place mentally where I started to just question everything around me. And I just felt like there had to be more to life than what I was already doing. And even now, I go to school, I go to the gym, I go to work. And these are all blessings. These are things that I'm grateful to have, but these are things that never fulfilled me because I know there's people that don't have these opportunities that I have, right? But if I don't feel fulfilled, if I don't feel happy, then it almost feels forced. And that's kind of how my content started to feel after a while, after the years of me making it, where I just felt like I was just churning out the same, like, low effort stuff. And this is what steadily over time led me to turning to Christ. And so a few months ago, I turned to Christ. I started letting go of things that did not serve me. And I started to reflect on myself and who I wanted to be and just what I wanted this YouTube channel to, stand for and what I wanted it to become. And a big part of that was me realizing how much negativity I had in my life and how much things that I was holding on to that I needed to let go of. And so, I had like low key like started to regain the passion for YouTube, not just as a means of escape or attention or validation, but as a means of me like actually influencing and inspiring people to maybe think about things differently, maybe change their lives or find fulfillment in things that they actually love doing and not just what the world tells them to do. The world tells us to get an education. The world tells us to work out. The world tells us to get a job. And these aren't things that are just bad, but I'm saying, what do you want though? And that's how I always felt, especially when I turned to Christ. And so my next point was why I stopped doing the degenerosity kind of videos. So if y'all know degenerosity, he does the videos I used to do, or I do the videos that I used to do the videos that he kind of made. I took his format where you would just spam a bunch of gifs, memes throughout the video. I hid my face for privacy reasons, but I also just feel like I was low key brain rot maxing, and I don't like that shit. Because even though I find myself as a funny creator, I also feel like it took away from the seriousness of the person I was starting to become. And I think as I started to change and see it for what it was, I was like, I don't want to brain rot my viewers. I don't want to attention span fry my viewers. I also didn't feel like if I have to do all of that, does that even make me a good creator? It started to make me question like my own reality. And I started to feel like a Mr. Beast ass motherfucker. Like if I have to do all of this just to get my views, it's not genuine. And it just felt fake. So that's why, like, after the Generation of Lust, after that blew up, I kind of had that realization that, like, I want people to really resonate with what I'm saying and not just laugh at it or let it go through one ear and out the other. I want it to really sit with y'all. And I think the best way to do that is not just showing my face, but to not spam y'all with brain rot, but like actually let y'all process what the hell I'm saying. Because this world is already going to hell. I'm not going to add to the hell? And that's why YouTube saved my life because in the end, it's made me realize how much stuff I still have to change and how much better I still have to do if I really want to achieve my goals. And because I've regained fulfillment with YouTube through this new style of content and just the things that I've been talking about recently, I understand I'm going to get a lot more hate. I understand a whole bunch of shit is probably going to happen. But I just want to make content that means something to me. I feel like I used to make content for this attention, for this validation, for the image, to get away from what I was going on in my real life. But now I apply it to what's going on in my real life. I see the bullshit and I want to talk about it. And I want people to understand what I'm seeing. I want people to see what I'm seeing. Because in a lot of the times in my real life, when I talk about the things I talk about in my videos, it's not a lot of people that understand what I'm saying, bro. So I appreciate 5,000 people for giving me the opportunity to let me give them that insight. But I gain fulfillment in giving that to y'all now, giving that value. And so I want to continue doing that. But I want to take it to the moon. I want to get 10,000, 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, 1 million, all of those goals because I really see a future for myself now where I could really, do something big with this channel. And that's what I want to do now. Back then, I just wanted to be a big YouTuber for the looks, for the image, for all of that. But I don't care about that no more. Not to say I don't care about money or I don't care about, validation. That's a lie. But I want more. for myself, not in terms of wealth, but in terms of fulfillment. And there's people out here that don't have these opportunities, that don't have much at all. So if I can at least make some type of change or do something big with this channel, I'm gonna try my best. The last thing I want to mention is the last thing I have been struggling with giving up is the za. So I'm really making this video to hold myself accountable. I know it's April Fool's, but don't let that fool you. I genuinely want to try and quit. So I might just upload this at 12 a.m. just to prove a point, but I really want to quit the za. I'm gonna get rid of my last bit of it. Um, because I've been struggling with it since I made this channel, and it's been a big factor in how I've been able to make my videos, because I would just use it to make me like kind of numb, kind of like not think too deep. Like, I don't know how else to explain it, but it kind of just allowed me to just chug my way through videos and not think too deeply into them. And I think that dependence on it has made me inherit a new type of sadness and a lack of fulfillment, because it feels like I have to do it in order to break through certain barriers. And I don't want that no more. I feel like if I'm gonna really take this to the sky, to the moon, whatever, I really have to be in my best headspace and be able to give y'all the best version of me every time. And I haven't really been making videos off the za recently for that exact reason, but there was a time where I was definitely writing my scripts off the za, recording the video off the za, and that can't fly no more. So I can't make no promises, but this is a promise to myself at the very bare minimum that I will try and stop for good. And I will continue to come here and update y'all. This channel is I'm probably gonna start talking about more spiritual stuff, more stuff related to, God and higher power, because that really changed. Like, YouTube saved my life, but God first, of course, saved my life and allowed me to see a potential place for myself in this world where I can actually exist and create something worth giving to people, and not just exist for the idea of this capitalist society where you just work till you die. I feel like I can actually give something, worthwhile to the community, to the people watching me, and hopefully they could take something from it and grow, you know. But a lot of that starts with me. And if I'm not, if I'm not presenting myself as the person for the job, then I will constantly fall short. And I feel like a big part of that starts with my addiction. And so I'm gonna try and quit. I'm going to quit. I'm going to. And I mean, it's not that I want to, but we don't want to do most things. But I can't keep living in this comfortability. I can't keep acting like there isn't more that I want out this life. And all this Zai is doing is making me okay with not having it. And I refuse to live like that, because when I'm high, I want to be sober. And when I'm sober, I want to be high. And that cannot continue to happen. So YouTube saved my life, but God did first. And that's the reason I'm doing what I got to do to make this dream happen. And you're watching it here first. So I'm going to come back to this video in the future, and we're going to see what happens, y'all. So love y'all. Peace.